What's up, people from the tube? Welcome back to another Pancho Things. Today we're going to be having one of those topics that will make you get in a bar with a friend and get out of there being a greater friend or get out of there being the worst enemies ever. Fender versus Gibson. Let's get started. Alright, I'm gonna put a disclaimer right before we jump in this. This is my view, this is my take, this is what my preferences are, the things that I like versus what I don't like. And two, if you're looking for a video where we're gonna get and nail specific details on the instrument, or you want to talk about the history of the instrument, this is not that video. I'm not gonna get into depth of what they are and the pickups and no. We simply are gonna talk really quickly on what my takes are and on what to choose one versus the other one. Alrighty, so if you're a serious guitar player, you record, you play in a band, you're actively working with music. As a guitarist, we have this conception of this guitar might be better than another one, this guitar will do this better than the other one, and I see it in a completely different format. I see it in the format that if you are a guitarist and you happen to play with different projects or you record, you need to have one of each of these guys. The reason being, what a Fender Strat might offer or a Fender Tele might offer, you might not get out of a Gibson, or what a Gibson may offer, you might not get out of a Fender. So let's start with the Fender. So with this, I can tell you right away, really slim neck and really comfortable, which to me, I started playing guitar and I have played on pretty much every brand of guitar that there is out there, and I sold guitar for many years, and I gotta say, one of the things that I love about Fender is these necks. They're comfortable, a little bit slimmer for my taste, but it's a nice comfortable neck, and you have that nice shimmery sound on these guitars. The configuration of those pickups. The cleanness is a super clean instrument. Me personally, as you already know, I'm more of an aggressive guitar player, not necessarily on technique, but merely on the genres that I like to play. I'm a little bit more aggressive, but it gets time from time to time that I get offered a recording or that I need to write something with a particular shimmery, nice tone, and the only guitar that might fit that will be a Fender. There's also a lot of debates on American Fender versus Mexican-made Fenders, and we can talk about that in another video. Right now, this is an American made Fender Strat. This is actually the 60-year anniversary of a Fender Stratocaster. It's just standard Strat, and it's a beautiful guitar. I like it. I like what he offers. Not, as I said, not necessarily it will work on every genre that I throw it up, but it does the job really nicely. There's been configurations with particular amps that I have used and particular pedals that I might use, or a particular compression that I might use, that I can emulate and get that guitar sounding a little bit fatter, but it will be way different than what this guy will offer. Now, second thing for me that pushed me away from Fender as my main axe is the fact that I like heavy guitars. I like guitars that have a lot of weight. Actually, when I bought this guitar, I was working selling guitars, and I went through an entire wall of guitars. I wasn't looking at particular colors, I was looking at details of, is the neck straight? Are the frets completely fully polished? Is it comfortable to play it? But one of the things that I did was just make sure that I grabbed all guitars in the wall. Even the one that I liked, it was so light that I was like, it just didn't work for me. So that's another thing for me with the guitars. Now you got also you get into the conversation of is the guitar being chambered? You know, some people are completely against it, some people don't care. Me personally, that will affect the weight of the guitar, and at that point I already have a problem for me particularly. I do enjoy heavy guitars, and probably when I turn 60 that might have to change, because probably my back started giving up or my shoulder giving up, but right now it still works. So another thing with Fender that I do enjoy quite a bit is how the 5-position selector give you a wide range of tone and opportunities for you to work in certain areas, and I do like that. I do like the fact that I'm able to achieve. Now I'm going straight to my Mesa Boogie, which a lot of people will be like, "Whoa, you know, Mesa Boogie and the clean tones." Hey, listen. For me, Mesa Boogie rectifiers are the Marshall 800s, 900s, or 2000s for certain people, or the Twin River for certain people. I do like it. I do enjoy them. I've been working with them for a long time, so I do know how to tweak it to my liking and get it to sound right. That's not an easy amp to tweak. Most people that get into Mesa Boogies and they end up hating them is because they don't take the actual time to sit down and tweak them. It's not an amp that you just move a couple of knobs and you already got your tone. It takes a little bit of time for you to warm up to that sounding amp. But what I'm saying is, so I need something for a little nice, and I can get it. If I need something a little bit more open, if I need something a little even open. If I want something super bright, get is there's something about the configuration of these pickups, being able to toggle in 5 different positions and just be able to round that up, and that's without including your tone that you can just roll on and off if you need to get a little bit darker, a little bit brighter. I do enjoy that. It's just give you a wide range of opportunities. Now there's a lot of guitar players that this is what they use. You got Eric Clapton, you got Stevie Ray Vaughan. There is a lot of guitar players that rely on this because of the same principle. You get a lot of different tones and a lot of different options with the one guitar, and that's fine. Now, me personally, for most of my applications, this guitar will fall short in certain areas. It will shine in other areas. That's why I say this is not a comparison where you need to fight what is better, what is... There's not. They're both amazing guitars. They both offer something different. And if you're one of those people that are working on that environment, you need to have them both. It's always going to depend on what you're doing. So for me, pros on these guitars, I like the necks. I like the 5-position toggle switches. I do enjoy the single coil pickups on Strats. I know that there's been the versions that will have humbucker and then 2 singles. Me personally, when you talk about the tone of a Strat, it's right here. These 3 pickups that have been there forever, and they work. So there you have that side for me. Strats give you that option of the trem bar, being able to use that. Normally I don't use much of a trem bar. I'm more of a Floyd guy, but yeah, it does do the job. You got a really sexy contour, super comfortable. It takes a minute sometimes to get used to know where to place your pick. You don't want to be hitting your pickup. That's one of the things that sometimes is kind of bugs me a little bit for certain patterns or certain techniques that I might want to apply on the guitar. You might get in the middle, but other than that, beautiful guitars, man. You have their time and place on music, and this is never gonna go out of style. It's just it's history. So once again, this is a guitar that will it will tackle certain things that other guitars might not tackle. Fender Strat. We're gonna go to the nasty channel and see what's going on there. Now it does get nasty logically, and it does get that distortion sound, but to me it's super open. Because now I can tweak my amp back and forward until I get to like super close to what I'm looking for, but that's where this guy does different tricks. So there you have it, Fender Strat. Beautiful guitars, man. So I'm gonna switch now to the Gibson, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit, and you're gonna, hopefully you guys can hear. I'm not gonna record these separately and edit it. I'm just gonna use whatever the camera is picking up. That's what you guys are gonna get. So Gibson Les Paul. Wow, this is a different monster. Now me personally, I'm a Les Paul guy. Starting with the weight. The things are bricks, man. This is just heavy, and I do enjoy a lot of that. The necks now, Gibson necks are going to be really different than your Fender necks, and I'm not a big fan of the traditional 59 necks. Those things are baseball bat. They're super fat, super round, and some of them I might be guilty of that. And the reason being is, when I used to play into metal bands and stuff like that, I was always playing on guitars that have a super wide necks, and it was easier for me to articulate things, and you get used to like those Ibanez necks, and it was just humongous. Then you start jumping into 7-string guitars and stuff like that, so you got a flatter, wider necks. Now this is not gonna give you that. This is a different type of necks, and it just operates in a completely different format. So, but they're comfortable. One of the things that I like about this is when it comes to that tightness, that round edge, that super powerful low end, having those humbuckers, man, it's just a kicker. It's just a push. It have that super round sound, and I do enjoy that. We don't have a trem bar or a Floyd for that matter on this particular model. I know that there's the Alex Lifeson guitar. It has a Floyd on it, but it's just a different concept. It's another monster. Now, a lot of people don't find this guitar super comfy. I know that they have made some models where they have contours in the back, just so you can feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, I mean, me personally, I love them. I feel super comfy with that. Now, on the downside of how much the guitar can offer to you is 5-position toggle switch, 3-position toggle switch. Now, to me, that doesn't matter much, because what you get out of that 3-position, it's nice. I do enjoy that. I actually, and just simplifies a lot of things for me too. Sometimes when I'm playing something really super heavy, I don't need a 5-position switch. These 3 will do the job just fine. This guitar actually is internally is wired just like the traditional 1959s Les Pauls, so you have that raw sounding. Man, starting from the weight on these guitars are heavy, heavy. Now there's, in between one guitar and another one, you might find guitars that are a little bit lighter when it comes to Gibson, but this one particularly is super, super heavy. Can you play blues? Can you play jazz? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You might have to have a really nice selection or time to tweak with your amp or whatever pedals you might be using. But this guitar is already out of the get-go is a powerful guitar. It's just half power, and it's being able to have the different controls. If I need to go through a different sound guitar, then logically I got these ones and quite a few other guitars, but for my main guitar, I'm just gonna rely on this. And then there's a lot of debate on the density of the wood. To me, particularly, I love the fact that it's just bringing a wider sustain. It just feels a little bit more robust. But yeah, one other thing that I noticed with Gibson versus Fender is that a lot of people have this point of view that was like, well, you know, price wise, there's quite a difference. Yes, Gibson is a little bit more on the top side of the price. Not necessarily means that they're perfect guitars. You might find some Gibsons out there that have some issues, and you will find Fenders that will have some issues out of the box. But it is just two different guitars, and they have their own sound, they have their own place, and they have their own spot to put them in. Can you play anything on both? Yes. Yes, you can. Is it gonna sound right? Depending to your taste and how you adjust your gear, yeah, it will sound right. Is it natural? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes tweaking the gear just to make this sound as a super powerful metal guitar, it might sound, you might get the sound, but might not necessarily sound natural to your ear or to other people's ears. So let's go to the distortion channel and see what's going on with this. It's already round. It's just fat. It's just super round, super fat, and to my ears, I love that. I love that sound, and it's just in every way, shape, or form is right for me. Now, downsides. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive. One of the Achilles tendons of these guitars is the headstock. Because the way and the angle that this guitar is built and neck is, these headstocks they're more prone to receive a hit on the headstock with the tension of the string and cracks. So that's one downside. That it depends how you treat your guitar. If you treat your guitar properly and you're careful and you have a nice case, and if you're traveling, you take the right precautions to make sure that that doesn't happen, then you're golden. But that's an Achilles tendon with these guitars. It's just something that tend to happen, and it happen often, and there's no trade-off for that. Same with Fenders. You might have a lot of things that I always see with the Strats is the strap holder always popping out and sometimes breaking the horn. That's an Achilles tendon in there. You also see it on Avian X guitars. So what I'm trying to say is no guitar is going to be perfect, but it will be great for you. When it comes to another downside on Les Pauls to certain people is the fact of the weight. The weight can be quite too much for some people. Once again, for me, that's what I prefer, that's what I like, that's what it works for me. But some other people don't feel the same way. Another thing that other people complains about Gibson is the binding. Sometimes they have guitars that have an issue with the binding, they come undone, they had to send them to a luthier and just have him glue it again. And me personally, none of those issues has happened. It's just a hit and miss situation. But is, to me, yeah, this is a workhorse. Is a lot of people call them the one-trick pony, because if you're doing something that is not rock oriented or heavy rock oriented, the guitar doesn't shine as much as other guitars. Hey, listen, the guitar, your selection of your guitar is going to be based on your playability, your technique, your sound, what you're looking for, the amps that you play. It's not only that. If we go down to the reality, is it doesn't matter at the end of the game, because everything is right here. This will only, the best quality on the guitar, the bigger the quality, the better craftsmanship of the guitar is just going to facilitate what these two hands can do. It's not going to make you play better. It's not going to make you a better player. It's not going to make you a more detailed player. No, the guitar is a tool, and everything else is here. And if you don't have this, then it doesn't matter if you have a $15,000 guitar, or you have a $500 guitar, or you have a $99 guitar. It's just right here. Now, that doesn't mean that a $99 guitar will sound exactly the same as a $3,000 guitar. That's a lie. That's just a straight out lie. And there is a lot of stuff that are involved with this. The electronics, the wiring, the pickups that are being selected, the type of wood, the grade of the wood. A $99 guitar will not have a premium wood. The guitar is not built with a premium wood. It's going to be built with whatever wood is available and cheap enough to actually take that chunk of money that you're taking out of it. So you pay for quality on an instrument, and sometimes it does happen. Sometimes you pay a $3,000 guitar and it comes with a lot of defects. And it does happen. This is wood, people. Now, when you get into these two companies, once you start paying top dollars for both guitars, yes, you're gonna have guitars that might have a little defect here and there. You might have a guitar that's completely jacked, but 90% of the chances you're gonna get what you pay for. You're gonna get a nice guitar. Now, there's been thousands of stuff that has happened. There's years that are better than other ones. When it comes to the management of the companies that have cut corners here and there on both brands, and actually pretty much every brand that have cut corners, and then they fall down the wagon for a little bit, and then somebody else comes in and just pick them right back up, and it is always gonna be some giveaway back and forth and trading with the money and what you're willing to spend on a guitar. But regardless, beautiful instruments. Main axe, Gibson Les Paul. There's always a space for my Strat or Tellys, or there's always room to throw those guys. And yeah, you can play the guitar. Yeah, you can play any genre with both guitars. Not necessarily will make it easier, but you can. But me personally, I'm a Gibson fan. I'm a Gibson's guy. When it comes to grabbing a guitar on the road that is going to do everything that I need to do, or that I know exactly what I need to do to it in order to tweak it, in order to get to a certain sound that I need to, this is going to be the guy you're going to see me play. Once in a while, we get into the situation where I need a particular sounding guitar, and only Fender will offer you that. And yes, there's PRS, and there's just tons of companies out there that are building phenomenal guitars. But today, we're not talking about them. Today, we're talking about Fender and Gibson, and yeah. That's my take on it. That's how I feel about it. Thank you for watching. I hope that you had a little bit of good time watching this and getting my take on what I prefer on a guitar and what not. Like and subscribe if you like this video. That's the only way that I'm going to be able to keep making this for you and talk to you guys and share my experiences when it comes to the guitars and everything else that I do. Give me the thumbs up. If you have any questions about this or a topic that you want me to touch on, in a future video, please do so. Hit me in the comments and we'll make it happen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Pancho out.